Hi guys, in today's video we'll be looking at 17 Canva Mobile tips and tricks that you can use to level up your design. Whether you're a beginner or a seasoned designer, these 17 tips and tricks will take your design to the next level. So let's get into it. Tips number one will be maximizing layers. Layers are your best friend when it comes to organizing elements in your design. This is a design I'm working on. Let's tap on this and go over to layers down here. You can use them to reorganize what is on a page you're working on. As you see now, this creative is in front of the picture. You can move it to the back. Let's take it to the back. It has gone to the back. You can click on this arrow to highlight the arrow. You can click on the empty page, this one, to move it around. Using layers helps you to see what number of elements that you're working on. If you can see, these are all the elements. I can move this one to come forward. You see it has covered my face. I can take it back down, and I can also drag this arrow to come up. Tip number 2 would be creating a halo text effect. So if you want to see how I made this design here, it's just simple. When you come over to the design you're working on, all you do is that you duplicate your text and you come over to effect and click on halo effect. You see that I'm going to drag it and drop position it. Let's go to creative and let's do the same. Let's double click on that and let's add effect to it. Effects, halo effects. This is how I created this design. Tip number 3 will be editing photos. So let's click on this plus sign to go drag the photo we want to edit. This is the photo we want to edit. We'll go over to effect, we'll remove the BG. Let's spread the photo out. Let's edit this photo. So to edit the photo, we'll be using adjust. So I'm not using the new photo editor on Canva. What I'm using is the old photo editor because this helped me to edit the photo to my liking. So I'll go to contrast and contrast this. I go to saturation and I come over to blur. I make it going your left to make it sharp. I make it -11. I step down. I come over to highlight. I highlight it this way and I come over to shadows and I take it up. As you can see, we've sharpened the photo to look better than what it was after we removed BG. Tip number 4 will be creating a drop shadow effect. We will do that by duplicating this image here and we'll drag this out and we'll click on the one at the back and go over to effects and find dual tone. So here we'll pick the first one we'll see. Yes, let's pick this one and let's turn it to white. Click again. Let's click here, white, go back and click here, make it white again. Having done that, we'll go over to the photo we have already and we'll drag this one and drop it to be at the center of what we created. And we'll slightly drag the edge here and slightly drag the edge here and center it now at the middle. Yes, you see that. Then we can now group it. Let's go over to layers and group. Layers. Let's select the one at the back and let's group. So having grouped it, we'll drag it out. So you see that white effect around the photo. This is how it is done. Another way to achieve the drop shadow effect on a picture, let's import the picture once again and remove the background. I advise you to do this before you start editing the pictures to look sharper than it is after removing background. So what you do now is You go back to effects, look for shadows. Let's click on shadows. Depending on how you want the drop shadow to look like, that will determine what you will choose. But I'll be picking the glow. I'll double click it. I'll change this to white, or depending on what color you want to use, go back. I will make the transparency sharp to 100. I can now increase the size here, how thick I want it to be. Do I want it blur? No, I don't want it to be blur, so I'll make this 0. This is another way to achieve it. Once you're through, you can go back in and start adjusting your image to fit how sharp you want it to look. These are the two methods to achieve the drop shadow effect. I prefer the second method to the first because the second method gives me what I'm actually looking for. Tip number 5 would be selecting multiple elements on a page. You're working on a page and you have multiple elements you want to select. You click on one of the elements and you go over to these 3 dotted lines here and click on select multiple. You come back, select this one, and select this one. Which brings us to tip number 6, aligning elements. So to align these elements, we'll go over to position and go over to align. We can decide to align it to the middle. All of them are aligned to the middle. So let's go over to spacing and align them horizontally. Yes, haven't done that, you see. We can come back and group them and select position again and come back to align and select them, position them at the middle. Yeah, so this is how to align elements on a page. Tip number 7 will be setting elements as background. So let's go pick an element from our upload. Let's pick a picture or a video to set as background. Let's pick up this video. So to set this as background, instead of dragging the edges up here, you just click on this 3 dotted line and go over to replace background. You see, you can double tap and spread out, and you can pull it back in by using your 2 fingers. So that's that for setting image as background. You can do that for your image or your videos or whatever element you want to set as background. Tip number 8 to be using frames on Canva Mobile. So let's go over to our plus sign and go to element also and click search for frames. These are frames we have. Let's pick up this phone frame and let's spread this out a bit. Position it where we want it to be, and let's go import what we want to put in the frame. Let's go over to elements. Let's pick up this and put it on the frame. Also pick what we want to put on the frame. This is the video we want to put on the frame. We drag and drop it into the frame and let's play. You see that you can maximize frames for videos. You can also do it for your pictures. Let's go back to frames. Let's click on this frame and let's go find a picture to add to it. Click on the plus sign. Let's put this picture into this place. You see that you can double tap the picture and drag it down. When you're done, you can spread out the frame. So these are what you can use frames to do on your design. Tip number 9 would be utilizing templates already made available on Canva wisely. So let's pick up a template. Let's go to design and search. I like this tip, it's free. Templates are a game changer. Don't just use them as it is. Customize them to fit your vision. Change colors, fonts, and images to truly make it your own. So you see, I've customized these templates to my use, which brings me to tip number 10, which is duplicating pages. Say I want to duplicate this page now. What I do is to come over to this sign here and see all the designs I have on the page. This is highlighted. What I want to duplicate is highlighted, but if this is what I want to duplicate, I click on it. But let's come back to what I want to duplicate. I duplicate the page and double tap on it. I can go back in and drag it and drop it on page 1 to move it around. Which brings me to tip number 11, which is filtering elements. Let's go to elements. We want to search for subscribe button, and we're looking at graphics. We can come over to this sign here to filter the subscribe button. You can filter by color of the subscribe button you want, what shape it is, or the orientation of the subscribe button. Do you want it static or animated? Do you want cutouts only? Do you want free or pro? Okay, let's go for animated and free. These are all the subscribe buttons they have that are animated and they are free. Tip number 12 will be speeding up element. Let's go pick up an element we want to speed up. Say we have this subscribe button here, and if you play it, this is how slow it is. So let's speed that up. Let's go over to playback and drag this video speed. You see, it has increased how fast it's clicking. Tip number 13 will be animating elements. So we want to animate the elements on this page. Let's see how that will look. What we will do is to click on it. Which of the elements we want to animate, we'll go over to animate to use the animate button. We want this to breathe. Scale it. Let's make it faster. Let's animate the text. It's the second text to merging. And let's animate this to fading. And let's animate this to tumble. Let's play that and see what animation it has. You see how it animated? Tip number 14 is collaborating and sharing your design with your teammates, or you want to make it public so for people to come see the design. You click on this arrow up here and click on share link. You click on anyone with the link. Then you say what anyone with the link can do. Do you want them to only view? Do you want them to only comment? Do you want them to edit? So if I make it can view, it means that if I copy this link now and share it out, anyone I give the link can actually view what I've worked on, which I would also paste on my description box. Which brings me to the bonus tip, which is copying design. So if you want people to actually edit your design in real time, it's not wise to just share the design with them immediately. What you do is to quickly make a copy of your design. You click on this 3-dotted line here and click on make a copy. So it has created a copy of the design. So when you click on this arrow here, go back to share link, and anyone with the link, you can make them edit the design with you. But that way you're not losing your original design. Say something goes wrong and you want to go back to something and see what you have, or you want to have the original file of it before it is re-edited and turned into something else by various number of people. Tip number 15 is to export your file in different file formats. So let's go over here to see all the pages we've been working on. So you can see there are a lot of pages we've worked on, and we click this arrow up here and go to download. So when you look closely, you click this drop down. There are various formats you can export your files. You can now export in JPEG, PNG, PDF standard, PDF print. You can even export as MP4 videos for your animated elements to play. You can also export as GIF. Yeah. So once you choose a template, let's pick MP4 video. You can come over to select pages depending on which of the page you want to export. So let's click on this. I would like to export page 8, no, page 7, and you click on done and you export. Tip number 16 will be taking advantage of Canva free apps. So when you click on the plus sign here, you will come over to apps. Let's click on it. There are a wide range of apps you can actually use to achieve what it is you want to do. Then is type gradients. You can do voiceover with apps found on Canva. You can bring your work to life with talking 3D avatar. You can do a whole lot. These are popular ones. You can create a whole lot with the apps that are featured on Canva. You can get an AI voice and enhancer. There is a whole lot, so I advise you to take advantage of these apps and use them while designing. It's going to take your design to the next level. So one app we'll be using now is to use the puppetry. If you've watched my recent video, you must have seen me talk about it. The puppetry allows you to create talking avatar, so we'll be creating a talking avatar with this puppetry. And this brings us to tip number 17, removing background from videos. So let's click on this video and go over to effects, but this is a paid option actually, and we'll click on remove background. It has removed the background of the video, but I'm going to go in and change this background that it has. Yeah, this is our video, which is actually looking very beautiful.
And there you have it, 17 Canva mobile tips and tricks to level up your design game. Don't forget to practice and experiment with these techniques. You're now equipped to design like a pro on the go. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, give us a thumbs up and subscribe for more content like this. Until next time, happy designing.